to FountainCast, a bi-weekly podcast brought to you by your Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. I am Betsy LaVoie, and I am joined today with Kristin Milashoski and Mel Carr, the owner of Cloversy. Mel, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you with us today.
Oh, I know, so much exciting, great things coming up.
Yes, so we're here to talk about Six-Figure Chicks. And not just this copy or version of Six-Figure Chicks, but your new book launch that's coming out soon. So let's start with this one, because everyone can still purchase this on Amazon and at the Chamber Gift Shop. Where else can they purchase?
TheSixFigureChicks.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. So what inspired you to write this, and share with us a little bit more about this book before we talk about the new one?
Sure, wonderful. So Six-Figure Chicks really came from the development of my company, the Cloversy, which is the executive virtual assistant company. So with my first business coach, she first initially said, okay, so what is your goal for revenue this year? And I was like, I don't know, I just need to make money to pay the bills. She's like, well, we need a hard number to go off of. And I'm like, okay, fine, $100,000. Just easy, round number. She's like, okay, great, let's make it happen. So that coach then gave me the tools in order to reach that goal. I surpassed it in the first year, so it was my six-figure, victory of the first year in business.
Wow.
And then when I decided to do a book collaboration with the editor of my choice, at that time she was like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, I don't want to write about VAs. Everyone has a book on VAs. Let's write about six figures. Like, I made six figures my first year in business when everyone thought I wasn't going to be able to reach that.
And it's huge. That's unheard of.
It's like,
yes,
let's celebrate ourselves, our wins, our successes.
Right.
Because we don't do that enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then Six-Figure Chicks just kind of came from that.
Okay.
And I want to celebrate women, because all too often we feel like maybe people think that we're bragging when we're saying, yay, congratulations on me and the business, or you and your business and your profession. You've made that happen with the people that support you, and mentors and coaches and people that believe in you.
Right.
It takes a team of people
Absolutely.
to reach success. So that's where it came from, and I was like, yes, we should celebrate ourselves and our success.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And truly a women empowerment. Like, you have cheerleaders in your corner, and if you don't, you have a book who is your cheerleader, right? In your corner to celebrate and to encourage and inspire.
Yeah, and all the women in this book have shared their stories of success. Each one has a different life lessons and chapters that led them to where they're at today, and they share also the triumphs and the roadblocks, and overcoming imposter syndrome and the need to be perfect, and those things that other women experience that may think that they're the only ones.
Right. I think reading this book makes you know you're not alone in those thoughts and those fears, and you think one obstacle is big, and then you read about someone in here and they're like, oh wow, that was way more, and she kept going, I can keep going too. So it just helps fuel that fire that women have, that they should just keep going and not stop what they're doing.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's what it's all about. Everything in life is, who's in your circle of influence.
Yes. And even that whole notion of, I don't want to share or celebrate because people think I'm bragging, that's another thing that could keep somebody from success. That's another piece that could really hinder somebody. So I think even just talking about that, and the whole purpose of the book is purposeful, right? When a lot of times for people, when they are at that level, it just shares and really demonstrates how many other people they've affected in a positive way. Because typically, you probably didn't make six figures as Cloversy in your first year unless you helped a lot of other people get there.
Yeah.
And so it is really showing how many people you've brought up too, and therefore helped bring you up in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, why I say also it's such a great, important thing to do, to celebrate your success in the business or profession that you have, is that you do support and aid in other people's success so much. So Cloversy, I have twofold I love giving time back to the clients that we have on our company, as well as giving work opportunity to the women that work inside Cloversy. So it's twofold. I love what I do, and I love being able to empower other people with, the time to be able to scale their business, or the flexibility and ability to earn an income from home.
Right. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you have another book coming out, another book launch. Can we pivot to that?
Yes, of
Is there
course.
anything else you'd like to share about this before we do?
No, most
Okay.
definitely. Let's hop on to the next one.
Okay, and everyone, it is so exciting, and everyone, we always say we don't want to tell somebody what they should do. Nobody wants to be shoulda on. But everyone should buy this one and then buy the next one too. So let's talk about the next book. So what encouraged you to do a follow-up edition?
Yeah, well, it was pretty plain and simple. So everyone knows about the codes on the back of the book, so you can, buy the book. So it was either like you buy one barcode for this much, you buy 10 barcodes for a special price. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
That's pretty much what spurred it on.
Like, I have barcodes. Let's make some books. I'm gonna put my barcodes on.
I love it. You're real. You're real, Belle. That's awesome.
And then there was just after this was published, and I sat with it for a little over a year, I said, there are so many more great stories to share, and it's limitless out there to be able to learn and grow from each other.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, why not? Let's start this with the hometown, Six Figure Chicks Phoenix, with even more fantastic female authors. So we have 16 authors, including yourself.
Yes, I'm thrilled to be a part of
awesome.
it, and thank you for asking me to be a part of it.
Of course.
So it's truly a pleasure and honor to be a part of it, and it's been so much fun. It has been such a journey, and so let's talk about that a little bit. So when the logistics, when does the ebook launch, when does the actual paper book launch, and share with the audience a little bit more about that.
Wonderful. Great. So September 10th, the ebook will be launching. It will be available for sale on Amazon. We'll be able to share all of the information, all the links to buy on the 10th, the morning of the 10th. Everybody be ready to buy it for 99 cents.
September
Yes.
10th. You will be hearing from me most likely. And we can add that link directly to this podcast as well.
Yes. And then, so once the ebook is launched, and we're going to be aiming for that international best-selling books, just like the first book. Continue that momentum, and then we'll be doing the paperback book launch event here in Phoenix on November 8th. And JP Morgan Private Bank in Phoenix will be sponsoring the location for the event.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're very excited, and we have a slew of other great sponsors that are supporting that event and other events. We'll be doing book signings at Barnes and Nobles and other private locations.
Can we do one here? We should do one here.
We should do one here.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Okay, let's schedule that too.
So,
more to come.
More to come. Yeah, and I mean, it's magnifying now that we're, this book came out of, towards the end of COVID. So we were still kind of in lockdown, not as much happening in the public. And now that we have a community-based book to where all the women are in the same area, we can really leverage, the women, our contacts, our supporters, and really get behind this mission.
Absolutely.
To empower and inspire other women.
Right.
And come together as a community and really show that, we do care about each other, and we do care about our success, and we want the best from everyone in our, circle, in our community. And so it's given us the opportunity now to really go out there and spread the word and share our stories with everyone.
It's very cool. So talk about, if you don't mind, your element of giving back to young women and the under 18, right?
Well, we're
not necessarily.
We're going to broaden that out just because this is the first book that we're going to be adding in a charitable element.
Okay.
And post paperback book launch, we're going to be hosting a one-day mentorship event. So like you were saying, young women. So we were thinking originally bring in the younger girls that are, getting close to college or out of college that may not know where to go or what to do.
Right.
And we want to be able to offer our knowledge.
That's
to
so
young
exciting.
women.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, to be able to have, 16 hugely successful women and an amazing array of knowledge and expertise to be able to mentor that and offer that to the young women that, may be stuck. And I was thinking we may want to open that up to, other women that are in their own hardships. Like, we were all there, right?
Absolutely.
Like not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I was just thinking if I had known, you ladies or even some of the mentors a little bit earlier in life, how maybe that could have propelled things faster.
Sure.
Or I always say we're right on time. We're always where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
But to be able to give that to someone younger and provide that opportunity for them.
What a gift.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, and that ties right along in with part of our Chamber of Commerce mission to help the workforce, the young workforce. What we realized, workforce is an issue across the nation, but what we realized is that we needed to dig a little deeper and go younger and support the workforce once they're in even grade school and high school, because kids today, they are lost. Kids 30 years ago were lost too. I'm not saying just kids today, but kids, and they don't need to know what they want to do yet, but a lot of times they don't have that positive mentor built in, and to be able to provide that, especially in this positive way, to provide that is truly a gift that all by itself needs to be celebrated. I think it's really cool. Her and I have young daughters that are the same age, both high schoolers, and I mean, oh my gosh, I want them there.
Right.
I want them to be
first thing that pops in my head.
Yes. For them to hear from 16 different professionals, and then maybe even mentors from your first book might come, and so potentially more professionals, they might find something out that they never even thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes full circle, because the more that the Six Figure Chicks Phoenix book authors get together, the more that you're building relationships and can refer and learn from and just be able to support and empower each other more than you ever had or would have had the opportunity to do so if you hadn't been in this book.
Right.
Right. And like you said, bring in the authors from the first book, which is building and growing a community of like-minded females.
And you really are creating a six-figure, through your author series, community, which is really unique. And I don't know if you had anticipated that when you started, but it has blossomed into that. And so I know that for me, the other, one gal I did briefly know, but the other 14 I'd never heard of or known before, and it's a whole new community that I was introduced to that I'm thankful for.
Yeah, and now you have new resources to pull from.
Right.
Should you, need that support or assistance or, just somebody to call on and be like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And, that's the great thing that's come from this.
Right.
It's just blossomed.
Yes.
From the first
It's
book.
a beautiful thing.
I know. I mean, I love just being able to, produce such, amazing things out of just one piece of my life,
Right.
my chapter.
Yes.
I never knew I was going to be an international best-selling author just a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And now this happened, and now we're having a second book.
Yeah.
And, we're going to continue rolling that motion forward and other books and bringing other women to this community.
Right. One thing I didn't realize before I read the book is that every chapter offers a freebie.
Yeah.
Offers something to the reader, which I think is also very unique. And so it's not just the tools and the inspiration and empowerment you receive from reading the book the one time. You can continue that journey by, having your own little piece of the Six Figure Chick community by partaking in the free links and the free coaching and everything free that's provided from each author. I think that's a unique thing too.
Yeah, it's amazing. So anyone around the world, women or men, can be able to use these authors' expertise and knowledge and gain insight from what they're offering and what they're giving.
Right.
If you can't be at the mentorship event and learn from the authors directly, you can, go into their chapter and find out what, insight and knowledge that they're giving away and complimentary to the people that are reading their book as a thank you for taking your time to support our efforts.
Yes.
We do want to give back in any way we can.
Because I know even some of the authors, they do podcasts and they do continued content that is complimentary for people to receive. So if people are not sure where to get that from, start with Six Figure Chicks, and then that's your resource guide to find more and more and more content in a positive, professional way.
Yeah, most definitely. And, I was just talking to Shantoya, who's in our second book, and she's like, thank you for inviting me into this, Six Figure Chicks Phoenix book, because that has inspired and motivated me to write my own book that has been sitting on the shelf of, I shoulda, coulda, coulda, for years. She's like, and now this has inspired and motivated, giving me the power to write my own book, which I always have wanted.
And you might not know this, but it has done the same thing for me. So I have not ever wanted to be a writer necessarily, but most people know that I lost 120 pounds 12 years ago and have kept it off. And so I literally lost the size I am now. Like I was twice the size that I am now. And so a lot of women especially want to know about that. Everyone knows how to eat, everyone knows what to do, but not everyone does it. I know I didn't for 30 years. And so it inspired me that I'm going to write a book about weight loss and healthy living. And I'm not a writer, but you, by inviting me to participate, you have inspired me to be able to do that. So I thank you too. And I think that that's just something we can continue to give back. Because I know that for all people, that when you feel good, you're able to do more good. And part of that for a lot of people, for me personally, I don't know everyone else, but for me that was a hindrance in a lot of different pieces in my life, that weight issue. And so to be able to give that back, I'm excited about. I don't know when it'll happen because of our time restraints, but it is in the works. And I'm thrilled that even through being an author in your book, that you've introduced me to some of the people that can help me do that, which is amazing. So thank you.
Yay.
So just like Victoria, look at you, you're creating authors.
Yes.
And you already were, but with their own books. It's awesome.
And that's amazing. It's amazing the art of writing and how many different facets it can play in your life and the progression of everything about that. Writing is healing on so many levels. And I love that you're going to be able to share some amazing stories and positivity with the others.
Yes. And now that I've put it out there, I actually have to do it now. No, I would have anyway.
That's amazing.
Well, and also it gives you the opportunity to be able to share transparently without worrying about, well, I don't want, the person I'm talking to think that I'm speaking to them. I'm telling them that they should lose weight, because you never want to should on anyone, and that's always somebody's own personal journey. But through the avenue of a book, you could just share transparently your story, and if the reader wants to accept it or read it, they can. And if it speaks to them, that's great. And if it doesn't, well, maybe they'll give it to somebody it will speak to.
Yeah, and that's exactly a great other point of this book, is since there are so many different chapters, there is one woman in there for all the women around the world to connect with differently on different levels. It's just like us. I'm not going to be everyone's best friend, but for the people that I'm meant to, connect with, I do. And that's the same for the authors in the book. Everyone's going to be able to connect with a different author in a different way.
Right. It's awesome.
Yeah, clearly, there's so many different backgrounds and different paths that people took to success, and I think that's just a telling aspect of it all, is that it doesn't have to be a certain way. There's, even if you think you're too old, or, it's too late, or you're too busy with kids, there's a path to it, and you can find it.
Yeah, exactly. It's never too late.
Yes. So awesome. So exciting. And so can everyone come to the physical book launch, or is that a private event?
Private invite,
Okay.
so, if you want to come, you should be very nice to Betsy. Send her lots of goodies.
And we haven't been told how many people we can invite yet, so that's more to come too. So don't be offended if you don't get invited.
But yeah, so we'll be putting out information after the ebook launch. Expect more great things to come. But if you're not able to attend the event, there's many other ways to offer your support and great things to come with this.
Absolutely. The Phoenix, I don't want to say chapter of this, but having that Phoenix tie to it, I think the eyes are on the Phoenix metro area, as we continue to grow out here, and seeing these powerful results from women is just going to help propel that six-figure chicks Phoenix community.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then I want to share too, just to tie in really quick, part of the greater mission of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce is to put little old Fountain Hills, because I believe we're the 43rd largest town in Arizona, which is nothing. That means we're very small, right? Is to put our Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce on the greater state map. And then, obviously beyond that. And so that was also part of my internal inspiration to participate, is because it can also help our town and our community, which helps our business community, and it truly trickles out in so many ways. And so again, just I commend you. You've done a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers to you, Mel.
Thank you. Yes, cheers to us. Yeah, thank you.
Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I just thank you all very much for all your support, and buy the book on September 10th.
Buy the book on September 10th. And then not just buying the ebook, but also writing a review, right?
Yes.
Isn't that crucial?
Yeah, most definitely. Anything and everything helps with, the Amazon best-selling status. So, buy the book, read it real quick, and leave a 5-star review.
Okay, and if you're international, tell all your friends, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the market to really reach, is the international market as well? So,
Yes, we'll make it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you so
Mel.
much,
Thank
Mel.
you, Kristin, my cohort in our podcast. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and share this podcast so that we can empower not only women and men in Fountain Hills, but in Phoenix and across the nation. Thank you.